Good morning, everybody. Today is October 16th, Saturday, October 16th. Dr. Vuong here, Best F and Dad with your quick COVID update. Minnesota's hot, Michigan's horrible, Alaska's still hot, Pennsylvania's getting hotter. So really stay safe. We are leveling off around, 90,000 cases a day. That might keep coming down, but this time last year we were upticking towards our winter surge. We were around 30,000 cases a day. So we're still 3 times, 4 times what we were last year. And we're trending down, but the numbers are really high. And we'll see if we have this winter surge. And I think a lot of that just depends on whether or not we can get enough people vaccinated. Remember, there is some partial immunity. Oh, that's what I want to talk about today, is about natural immunity. I think we should change that term, it shouldn't be natural immunity, because vaccination is natural immunity. It's using your natural immunity. You're just not putting yourself at risk for getting sick. So, I'm going to very calmly talk today towards some people who say they've had COVID last year or recently, so why do they need to get vaccinated? Because their natural immunity is even better. What about this study that says it's better, or that study? Here's the primary problem with that argument. One, well, there's several arguments, right? One, you put yourself at risk for catching a disease that we know has a 2% fatality rate, and case fatality rate. And there was a time when France had a 20% case fatality rate. In other words, at the beginning of the pandemic, if you caught COVID, because we didn't really know what was going on and we didn't really know how to treat you, we had a 20% case fatality rate. Now that number came down as the sick people resolved, but at one point, one snapshot in time, guys, it was 20%. There was one snapshot in time in America. It was like a 14, 15% case fatality rate. Italy was 19, 20%. It's come down. And worldwide, globally, it's still about a 2% case fatality rate. But as the numbers are coming in now, we know that up to between 30 to 50, 50% of people who survive COVID have long hauler syndrome. I was just reading an article yesterday in a journal about how up to 50% of people have pulmonary issues. 6 months after COVID, they still can't breathe right. I've got a friend who is still just stinking dizzy. She is about 6 weeks after COVID. She is still dizzy. If she stands up too fast, she still gets dizzy. I read an early report on a link regarding Longhaul syndrome, COVID, and new onset diabetes, guys. There is something going on with COVID, the coronavirus, either attacking your islet cells of your pancreas, or the cytokine storm somehow affecting your pancreatic cells, because we know tumor necrosis factor and interleukin, those can kill your beta function cells. So there is some possible connection between having COVID and developing diabetes, guys. So why are you putting yourself at risk? Good for you. I'm glad that you had COVID and you got over it, but why put yourself at that risk? Okay, that's argument number one. And number two, we just don't know how long your natural immunity, it should be like post-infection immunity, and I'm going to call it that, right? Your post-infection immunity will last. I mean, we have this in other diseases. We have in other viruses where you can catch it again. Your post-infection immunity doesn't last forever. We know it also wanes. So the arguments that the anti-vaxxers say about why are we getting vaccinated if we know that it's waning? Well, this is the science, we have lots of vaccines that require boosters or different series, and we're still trying to figure out what it's going to take for this. Does this mean we might need an annual shot? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But right now, you know, boost, like yesterday, FDA recommended a J&J booster 2 months afterwards. It probably should have been a two-dose shot in the first place. But, you know, good for the scientists who were trying to make a one-shot, one-time vaccine, just because, you know, you have distribution issues. You got people who live in rural populations. You've got, you know, shipping issues, and you can't trust people to go back and get their second dose or their booster shots or whatever. So they tried, and it was pretty good, you know, 70% efficacious. But after a second dose, it went up to the normal 93, 94% level that we are used to with the RNA vaccines, which are still good. And with the Delta surge, and here's the third argument, people, you know, anti-vaxxers saying like, why we need boosters? Well, we have fucking variants because we didn't control this pandemic. And the longer we let this thing rage out of control, the more variants you're gonna get. So, I mean, that's the logic. You just don't know how long you're gonna last. You know, I see this post, which tells me how twisted people's thoughts are, all right? So they're talking about like, hey, you know, I'm alone in the gym and the security guard, you know, makes me put on my mask, even though there's no one else in the gym with me, in the workout room, at the hotel or whatever. And then someone else comments, yeah, you know, like it was crazy. I was at like a music festival and we were packed in there like sardines and no one's wearing masks because we're outside. But we go inside the restaurant and now we have to wear our mask because it's indoors. That makes no sense. And I'm like, do you understand what you just said? You willingly chose to go to a music festival where people were packed. Just because you could doesn't mean that's the smart thing to do. You know, Erica bought concert tickets to a country singer. I don't like country music that much. But she bought them back in June for October. We were vaccinated. The numbers were going down. And then Delta surge hit, right? But it was last night, and we didn't go. They had the concert. It was in the Toyota Center where the Houston Rockets play. But I was like, babe, like we can't go to a arena right now. It's just not good. So we didn't go. She tried to sell our tickets. I don't think they got sold. I'm not risking $150 per ticket for me to get sick. Just because they still had the concert, we could have gone. I don't go. I don't go. I don't go to a music festival without a mask, packed in like sardines, and then say, why should I wear a mask if I'm indoors? See, that logic makes no sense. It's like, just because they allow you to do it doesn't mean you should do it. It's just craziness. So Moderna booster at half the dose was recommended. J&J booster was recommended. But honestly, we need to get more people first-time vaccinated. If we want to have a decent Thanksgiving and Christmas, that's what we need to do. Okay? So thank you guys very much for watching. Stay safe. I'll be back maybe Monday or Tuesday with another COVID update. See you guys.